But let's start with the game that we've just seen between China and England. The Lionesses winning that one 6-1. They're through to the last 16. They'll now face Nigeria. Marissa, we can get into the game, but we have to talk about one player in particular after this performance, and that player has to be Lauren James.
She is unbelievable. I have run out of words for her and what she does on a football pitch. This performance alone, 2 goals, 2 assists in a single game, also had plenty of goals and assists coming into this matchup as well. She is a freak in the best possible sense of the word. I mean it so much as a compliment. It is an absolute joy to be able to watch her do her thing as a neutral. So I want more of it. I want more Lauren James at this World Cup.
Absolutely. I think we all do as well. And I think Sarina Wiegman absolutely will too. What's been the reaction to what we've seen? Obviously, you're just seeing it there at the moment, Mark, but that is 3 wins for the Lionesses now. Maybe a bit of a slow start, but getting done what they need to do. And this more of a statement performance from them today.
Yeah, the first couple of games were, I think Dow was probably a bit overdoing it, but it was very difficult to kind of get any sense of momentum with England. But today, scoring 7 goals against any opponent in the World Cup is a big deal. But China are one of the stronger middle-ranking nations, shall we say. So I think to beat China with 7 goals is a real statement, especially coming on the back of the US game this morning when the US were really unconvincing. I think we needed a team to step out. And obviously, we've seen Japan have been pretty strong, but I think England, we needed to see England to do that. Obviously, reigning European champions. Today was a statement from England that they are ready to go. They've lost a few players with injury, but today they looked a strong team. And I think it bodes well. It'll boost confidence and boost optimism that they can go all the way.
Let's get word from Julien Laurens. I was worried that he was going to be a little bit jet lagged, but he is with us. He's joining us now. There he is from Sydney. Hiya, Jules. How are you doing? What have you made of England? What we've seen from England here?
I think the worst thing I've heard since I've arrived here a week ago is what Mark just said about this win boosting England. I mean, China are a terrible team. They were shockingly bad tonight. I mean, I'm not sure how much you can take away from the game tonight, apart from Lauren James, and I completely agree on what Marissa said, that she's amazing. She's the best player in this World Cup so far. But come on, it's China.
Okay. So obviously, Sarina Wiegman had to make some changes, though, Jules, today. So you can't take a positive away from that in the fact that it's worked out for them, even though the opposition is China today.
No, it's a good win. It's always good to win, of course. You get to see other players. Lauren James, for sure, individually, a performance like that will boost her. It's a good goal for Russo. She needed that goal really badly. But I just don't think that on a game like this, you can take a lot away in terms of what we've learned from that formation or that combination or this player, this and that. It's just they were qualified already. They're going in as a top spot in the group, which is good. They know they're going to face Nigeria, who are much better than probably any team they've played so far. So it'd be very interesting, I think, to see what happens in that last 16 in a game where the opposition will be far more aggressive, far more physical, far better even with the ball technically, and maybe England will win, and that's when they have to step up in this last 16 game against Nigeria. But it's just on the game, it was more to tease Augie more than anything else. But it's just, I just don't know how much you can learn really from a game like that, considering how poor the opposition was.
I think, look, I mean, Jules is probably a bit jet lagged, as he said. I think you can tell by the curtains. He looks, he's probably trying to get
jealous or jet lagged.
You know what time it is for us now? I don't think you realise what time it is for us.
Well, I'll get there. I'll soon find out. But China ranked 14th in the world. I mean, the 3rd highest ranked team in Asia. China with no mugs, and China, England made them look like a bad team today. So I think you have to give a bit of credit. And I think England weren't great in the first 2 games. I think Jules is having some coffee there, some caffeine to keep them awake, and maybe to give you some more chance to speak some sense. But yeah, I think China were a highly ranked team. I think it's a great result for England.
Yeah, and also I think, Jules, to be fair, this is the first time that China do bow out at the group stage. Marissa, you can be the decider here. Is Jules being harsh or realistic?
They haven't watched this World Cup. They haven't watched China so far.
Look, I'm going to be very diplomatic and sit on the fence here. I do think that China have not impressed at this World Cup. And I think if you looked at this matchup on paper, Asian champions versus European champions, you kind of expected a little bit. But I do think England should be taking a lot of positives from this performance. Obviously, we've rattled on about Lauren James enough for now, but the fact that the formation change in the absence of Kira Walsh seemed to work, Lucy Bronze and Rachel Daly seemed to really enjoy the wing-back roles. Alicia Russo getting that goal is going to be so key for her confidence moving forward. So I'm sitting on the fence. I think China were bad, but England were good as well. So that's my take on that one.
Okay, we'll let you sit on the fence on that one. Anything else you want to mention with this game, Mark?
Well, I just think in terms of teams that haven't performed at the World Cup, China haven't performed at the World Cup, but you can say the same about the US. All these teams are going to it with a big reputation. You still have to get results against these teams or make them perform. So I think I take Julie's point that China have kind of stunk the place out a little bit at this World Cup, but still they have pedigree, they have the Asian champions, and to go into that game and beat them as they did, scoring 7 goals against any opponent is a big deal. And I think a lot of teams haven't turned up at this World Cup. I think maybe Spain were good in the first couple of games. I think Japan have been great, and England have now been great. So I think, let's be honest, the group stage at any major tournament tend to get forgotten about because it's the business end that matters. And if you come out of the group stage in form, that is a good positive, a good pointer towards where you can end up in the competition. So there were doubts for England going into the tournament because of Leah Williamson not being there, key players, but this result today will give them a lot of confidence, no matter the strength of the opposition. I think the pedigree of the opposition is what matters, and England have beaten a powerful nation, even if that powerful nation isn't playing well.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.